This
opportunity to
conference
present
will now
myself.
be recorded.
Yeah, sorry.
And yeah, yeah. And a very good evening, everyone. Yeah. So first let me share my screen. Yeah, yeah. So about myself. So I am Navneen Liraj. So I have been working in this field of software testing from last 4.5 years plus. So I started my career with Cognizant as a software tester, and slowly I learned the various concepts like automation testing and other things, and now I'm working in Flow Group as an automation test consultant. Yeah. So let's begin with the things. So what is software testing? Okay. So कोई client आता है, कोई customer आता है, and he says कि see, hey guys, I have got this is requirements, and you have to develop a software for us. ठीक है. So developers have developed a software. Okay. So now we have to verify whether the software which is developed is it fulfilling all the requirements given by customer. Okay. So we need to check every requirement we need to fulfill, and also we also need to check अगर कोई requirement अगर exceed हो रहा है, split हो रहा है, या कोई कुछ leak हो रहा है. So everything we need to test. Okay. So developers have done their work. Okay. But the final thing is the sign off which is given by the testers. So this is software testing. Okay. So is it really needed? Software testing. Developers can also do that. Okay. So there are certain situations when जब developers ने किया अपना मतलब they have developed the thing, but the full the integration thing, developers have done, they are doing component wise development. ठीक है. कोई भी एक प्रोडक्ट है उसका अलग अलग कंपोनेंट है, जैसे कंपोनेंट ए, कंपोनेंट बी, कंपोनेंट सी, मतलब एंड टू एंड अच्छा खासा है. Sorry if maybe I have not put it in the slideshow mode. Yeah. Yeah, one thing which I would like to say, अगर बीच में किसी को भी कुछ हो तो you can just raise your hand, or you can just pitch in, because I'm not getting if any one is raising anything in chat
Yeah, like
box.
उसमें उसमें हम सब expert हैं एकदम. Like don't worry about that, right?
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
like we'll definitely pitch in.
Sure,
Sure.
sure, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So yeah. So so different components are being developed by different developers. Okay. So the final thing is the entire application is working. So we need to do the entire top to bottom testing. Okay. So these all things are done by software tester. Hence they are needed. Okay. So आजकल आप लोग सुनते होंगे वो कि टेस्टिंग में स्कोप नहीं है, डेवलपमेंट में जाना है, ये वो सी दीज आर also many testers are also saying this कि टेस्टिंग में स्कोप नहीं है, पैकेज नहीं है, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. Okay. So what happens in testing, you need to revamp your skills, you need to upskill yourselves from time to time. Okay. There was a time when there was only manual testing. Okay. It's people were doing it manually. Then came Selenium. No, then came UFT. That record and play thing was going on. Then came this thing coding stuff. आपको VB स्क्रिप्ट में कोडिंग करना है, फिर सेलेनियम आया, ऐसे कर फिर उसके बाद APIs आए, APIs को ऑटोमेशन करना हुआ. So from time to time you have to upskill yourself. Okay, so if you are upskilling yourself, no doubt your career is it's going for a boom. Okay. जैसे आज का क्या पर्सपेक्टिव, जैसे पहले कैसा था कि मतलब डेवलपर्स ने डेवलप करके दिया एंड उसके बाद टेस्टर्स टेस्ट किए, उसके बाद अगेन कोई डिफेक्ट हुआ तो डिफेक्ट के लिए उनके पास इट वाज टेकिंग अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम एंड लॉट ऑफ मैनुअल एफर्ट वाज नीडेड. अभी कैसा है अभी यू हैव टू क्रिएट अ पाइपलाइन. ओके. जैसे पहले कैसा होता था कि डेवलपर्स ने कुछ बिल्ड ट्रिगर किया और नेक्स्ट डे ये अपना टेस्टर आता था एंड ही वाज डूइंग द टेस्टिंग पार्ट, एंड फिर अगर कुछ डिफेक्ट आता तो वो रेज करता था. इट वाज टेकिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग. बट अभी कैसा है, अभी a pipeline is set up. Okay. All the automation, most of the test cases are automated, they are put somewhere on the cloud. Okay. Things are set up. So as the developer triggers his build, the automation test cases are triggered automatically. If there are any defects, they are tracked, and and then the test report are sent to all the stakeholders. So next day, if or the next day when the people come, they ought to they get the report like, okay, ये status है, अगर कोई issue है तो यहाँ पे तुरंत fix होता है. So this thing is set up. This pipeline is set up by the testers. It is set up, or it is set up on different cloud instances. Okay, like there are various tools for that, like Kubernetes is used, and Docker images are created. Like it is very wide. Testing scope is very wide these days. So if we talk about the career, it's like it's going for a boom, no doubt. And like Pushan mentioned, like lot many startups are going to come in India, and it needs a lot many top software testers. Okay, and it the thing is like these days cloud is coming. Okay, so we need to put all our automation test cases. We need to use the cloud instances. We need to create our nodes and hubs, everything on cloud. So like moving on the next slide. Okay, so like we have got a unit test case written in Java. Yeah. So this is a unit test case. Okay. So like this is doing a simple thing. Like I've used JUnit framework for this. Yeah. So what it does is like it is passing an array of four numbers, and it is returning the maximum number which is stored in this array. Okay. And we are comparing if the maximum number, the number returned from this method, is it equal to 4. Yeah. So like as we see here in the left hand side panel, so it's showing a green color. That means the test has passed. Okay. So let's say if I change my expected result from 4 to, let's say, 7, and then we run this test case. Failed. Okay. See here it is also giving us the assertion error, like it was expected 7, but the return the result came was 4. So here comes the approach of TDD, test driven development. So in TDD, what we do is the requirement which we are getting from the customer. So we create or we map those requirements in form of different test cases, or in form of different unit tests. Okay. So like this is a unit test. So in this form, in this manner, several unit tests are written, which are corresponding to the different requirements which are given to us by the user. So we after writing a code, like if a developer triggers a build, so before that he runs all the unit test cases. Okay. So the passing or the status of the unit test gives the whether the development has been in it is in which phase, मतलब वो सही से डेवलप हुआ या कुछ एरर आ रहा है, नहीं, मतलब ये पूरा टेस्टिंग से, मतलब टेस्टिंग ही ड्राइव करता है ये पूरा प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट को. Okay, so like here we have written a small program, like it simply returns the maximum number stored in an array. Okay, so like for example, if we tweak anything, okay, in this, like we change this thing, so it gives it give an error. Okay, so इससे हमको ये मालूम चला कि कुछ ना कुछ चेंज है, हमको चेंज करना पड़ेगा, हमारा मतलब डेवलपमेंट सही नहीं हुआ है, तो फिर से चेंज होगा. फिर चेंज करने के बाद फिर से अपना यूनिट टेस्ट रन करेंगे. जब तक ये हमारी यूनिट टेस्ट पूरा पास नहीं हो रहा है, डेवलपमेंट कैनॉट गेट अ ग्रीन सिग्नल. एंड वंस ऑल द यूनिट टेस्ट आर getting a green flag, that means development has been done, and all the requirements have been fulfilled. So this is called a test driven development. Okay, so like this testing comes in, so this is the different 6 phases of software development lifecycle. Okay, so here implemented this TDD comes in phase 4 of this SDLC. Okay, so here after planning, defining and designing of the methods, so like TDD implementation is taken into consideration, and then all this TDD things are taken into Yeah, so this TDD approach is taken into consideration in this phase four of implementation. And after this TDD, then comes the testing part. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is the different 6 phases of software testing life cycle. Okay, so the phase one, the software testing life cycle begins with the requirement analysis. So like we get the requirement document from the customer. ठीक है, अब कस्टमर को क्या पता होगा, उसको तो बस ये है कि हमको ये मेरा रिक्वायरमेंट है और हमको इससे एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाना है, तो हमको एक रिक्वायरमेंट दे देगा। अब यहाँ से हमारा ये STLC स्टार्ट होता है। तो अब एवरी फेज हैज गॉट अ सर्टेन एंट्री क्राइटेरिया एंड एग्जिट क्राइटेरिया। ओके, so in requirement analysis we have the entry criteria as requirement documents which we are getting from the customer, and also we are getting an acceptance criteria from the customer. Okay, so like this should be our acceptance criteria, and this should be followed by this requirement. These are the our requirement document. So what we do is we go through these two documents and then we come up with the accept. Then we come up with two things. First is requirement traceability matrix. So this RTM requirement traceability matrix is nothing but like all the requirements which are mapped into various test cases or like test scenarios, you can say, on high level. Sorry to interrupt. Am I going a little fast? Hello.
No, sir.
Oh,
No,
thank you.
I think you're like extremely clear. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So the entry criteria of this requirement analysis is this requirement document and acceptance criteria, and we come up based on these two documents. We come up with this RTM and automation feasibility. Okay, so automation feasibility. So like all the requirements cannot be automated. Okay, so but there could be some requirements which could be automated. So we need to analyze like which requirements could be automated, and we need to come up with an document stating that okay, so these requirements could be automated, this cannot be automated. Okay, and after that we need to come up with also a document called RTM, requirement traceability matrix, which maps the different requirements into the various test scenarios. Okay, there is a requirement like create a form page. Okay, so the test scenario should be should be stating that a form page should be there and it should have various input parameters. So these are the scenarios. Okay, let's take an example.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Hi. So basically, I have a doubt, a small doubt, basically.
Mhm. Yeah, please go ahead.
So, what is difference between our traditional testing system and that TDD? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So
I
TDD
think
in
my voice is
traditional
lagging.
testing system. No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Am I audible to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So in traditional testing, what happens that developers do not developers develop that their developers go through the requirements and they develop the software, and then they give us the software to test. But in TDD, what happens that the requirements are mapped into test cases. Okay, and all the test cases are being tested as unit tests in our developer site itself. Okay, so they are testing the requirements. They are using the unit tests, and all the unit tests are being mapped to requirements. Okay, so वहां पे क्या होता है कि जो भी यूनिट टेस्ट है ना, वो ग्रीन सिग्नल देता है कि हाँ जो भी हमारा रिक्वायरमेंट है वो फुलफिल हुआ है कि नहीं। ठीक है, जैसे कि उन्हें डेवलप किया और डेवलप करने के बाद उन्होंने अपना यूनिट टेस्ट को चेक किया, और यूनिट टेस्ट जब तक रन होता रहेगा, जब तब तक रन होता रहेगा ये फेस, मतलब ये यूनिट टेस्ट रन करो, फिर उसके बाद चेक करो कोड में कोई चेंज हुआ है कि नहीं, और ये तब तक चलेगा जब तक कि वो हमारे ग्रीन सिग्नल आए कि नहीं, सारे यूनिट टेस्ट पास नहीं हुए तब तक वो चलता रहेगा। लेकिन ट्रेडिशनल जो टेस्टिंग होता है उसमें ये चीज नहीं होता है, उसमें दे डेवलप एंड देन दे गिव अस टू टेस्ट, we test, we raise the defects, and then they fix those defects, and again they give us to retest those things. If we retest, it's fine. Okay, we give it go ahead. अगर वो फिर से फेल हो रहा है, वी अगेन गिव देम, नहीं ये फिर से फेल हो रहा है, फिर से इसको फिक्स करिए. Is
Okay.
am I
Okay. Okay.
uh,
Got it.
okay na?
Yeah.
Okay. So like
Thanks.
suppose this is no problem. So like this is a form. For example, this is a admission form. So for example, this is a normal web page to for the admission in a school. Okay. So it has let's say it has different tabs like about school, admission, and then fees. Okay. So these are the three tabs in this. And then in admission, what happens that there are various tabs like name, age, gender, contact number, parents, then submit. Okay, so this is a sample software which is to be developed. Okay, so here this is the title of this website homepage. Okay, and then there are three tabs about school, then admission and fees. So in the admission section there are these five fields are there. Okay, so like name, age, gender, contact of parents, and submit button. Okay, so this is a requirement which is given by the customer. So what we do, like in traditional, you just ask a question, like in traditional testing method, what happens that developers develop this thing and they give us to the test. Okay, you tell this is the application which we have developed. You test this, and then we do the testing part. But if we are going through the TDD approach, what they do is they are creating a unit test for different sections. There is a unit test for the creation of the whether this when we launch this application, the title of the web page is admission in school or not. Is there three tabs present on this website: naming, about school, admission, and fees? If we go to the admission page, are these five fields present or not? So these are the different test cases, different unit tests which are there at the developer's end, and they test it. After writing a code for them, they trigger their unit test, and do that this triggering part till all the test cases are giving a green signal. Okay, so this is the requirement given by the customer. Okay, so what we do is like then we need yes talking about this software testing lifecycle. Okay, so this is the requirement now. Okay, so we need to come up with the RTM. So we need to map. That's like we have got these requirements. So again, we need to map the different test scenarios. Okay, so the test scenarios could be like when we navigate to this URL which we are developing. So whether the page which is opening, whether it is having this title or not. Okay, second scenario, whether it is having a three tabs containing these three tabs or not. Another requirement, another scenario, if we are trying to navigate to this admission tab, so are we able to navigate on this tab or not? Okay, another scenario, like if we are we able to put input in these four fields or not. Another scenario comes like if we are trying to in this name, are we able to if we are we able to input only text field or not, or we are if we try to enter some numeric value, it should not accept this. Or suppose in age, only numeric fields. Sorry, 96 is too long. Okay, so it should accept only numeric fields. If we try to input any string field into it, like for example, Ramesh, it should not accept because it cannot be a string type. Like gender, अब जेंडर में कैसा है कि मतलब इट शुड बी मेल और फीमेल. ठीक है, so like it should be a drop down और रेडियो बटन. ठीक है, अब जैसे कॉन्टैक्ट ऑफ पेरेंट्स, सो अब ये इसका क्या है कि ये 10 से ज्यादा ये न्यूमेरिक होना चाहिए. 10,000 नंबर एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना चाहिए. So like these are certain requirements which we need to test. अभी कैसा है कि ये सबमिट बटन, अब इसको सबमिट बटन को प्रेस करने के बाद ये सब मतलब मतलब ये जो भी डेटा ये इनपुट ये सबमिट हो रहा है कि नहीं, आपको कुछ एक मैसेज मिल रहा है कि नहीं, ओके द डेटा यू हैव एंटर्ड इज सबमिटेड इन अ डेटाबेस, ऐसा कुछ एक मैसेज आना चाहिए. So this is like I try to explain a brief thing about the requirement and the various steps which we are which we should be taking to determine the different scenarios which are to be mapped through different RTMs. And yeah, so going to the next phase. So test planning. So like test planning is the next phase in this STLC. So test planning is nothing but a detailed document that describes the test strategy, objectives, schedule, estimation, deliverables, and resource requirement to perform the software testing of the required build or like of the required software product. ओके, तो टेस्ट प्लानिंग में हमको ये पता चलता है कि हमको कौन सा अप्रोच लेना है, हमको कितने रिसोर्स लगेंगे, कितना टाइम लगेगा, कितने दिन में टेस्ट होगा. तो लाइक ये सारा चीज भी पुट इन डॉक्यूमेंट फॉर टेस्ट प्लान. So in this test plan, the entry criteria is like we are having a RTM which we have generated in this phase, requirement analysis. So we are creating an RTM and which acts as a input criteria in this test planning. And also like in the test planning we are coming up with certain documents like the test plan document which describes the various strategies and objectives and the various efforts and resources requirement for the testing of this product. And also like we are also sometimes we are generating an effort estimation document, like if do you need some to suppose sometimes what happens like there could be a requirement of some more resources. So like these all things could be put together in an effort estimation document. So then comes the test case development part, and this what I feel is like this is the most important part of this STLC. So here the core part is done. So like here we write the test cases, the step-by-step process, like everything in very minute manner. Like if you give your document test case document to someone, he's able to relate or he is able to understand everything which is needed to test the software application. So in every step, like step by step, you write, okay, log into this URL, then navigate to this tab, then then in this feed input this thing. So like in very detailed level, we are writing the test cases. Okay, so for the entry point of this thing is So the entry point of this phase 3 is the RTM and the test plan, and also we have we need to have an automation feasibility report. So like as automation analysis report actually, कि ताकि हमको मालूम चले कि कौन से requirements का हमको ये टेस्ट के मतलब किसका हमको मैनुअल टेस्ट केस लिखना है और किसका हमको ये टेस्ट स्क्रिप्ट लिखना है किसी भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में, be it Java, Python, whatever. So here we are writing the core thing, like we are writing the manual test cases for the scenarios which cannot be automated, and for the scenarios which can be automated, we write the test scripts for those scenarios. Okay, so like this forms the core thing in STLC, this phase actually, and then we set up the test environment. So test environment is nothing but the software and the hardware requirements which are necessary for the testing of the particular software application. So in the test environment setup, so we need to have environment setup plan. So like we need to have a document. अब ऐसे हम setup नहीं कर सकते कि हमको ये चाहिए, मतलब कुछ भी setup करो, हमको एक document चाहिए होगा जिसमें बताएगा कि हाँ ये मतलब ये हमारा requirement है, हमको कम से कम इतना RAM चाहिए, मतलब जो भी है मतलब इतना RAM चाहिए, हमारा माइक्रो प्रोसेसर ऐसा होना चाहिए, मतलब एवरी हार्डवेयर एंड सॉफ्टवेयर रिक्वायरमेंट्स. हाँ विंडोज 10 में ही रन होगा, विंडोज 7 में रन नहीं हो पाएगा, Windows 98 में रन नहीं हो पाएगा. तो so all the requirements, like for example if you need some particular software, like अगर आपको Java का कुछ रन करना है तो आपको Eclipse चाहिए, ठीक है. So like every minute detail about the software and hardware requirements that is needed, and that is set up in this test environment setup. Okay, so after that we also need to set up the test data. Okay, so for example we need to have sometimes we need some particular XMLs, or sometimes we need some particular XML. So sometimes we need some like JSON formats, JSON documents. So like that acts as a test data. So like we publish as an input data, and depending on that data, we are getting some output based on that application. So like this thing is being set up by this test environment. Then comes the test execution part. So here what we need is this test cases which we had written in this phase 3, but that comes into play in phase 5. So all those test cases, like whether you are with the manual test cases or the automation script, so you need to execute those things in this phase. Okay, so like executing the of the automation test scripts, it hardly requires much time. Okay, so just need to trigger a run. But the manual scripts, you need to execute. You need to execute everyone, like step by step. You need to execute all of them. And for the automation script, the defects may be logged automatically, but in the manual things, you need to log the defects by yourself. Okay, so sometimes what happens that like a customer has given some requirement, and you are testing those requirement on the application which has been developed which has been delivered to you by the developers. Okay, so you find that sometimes there is a gap between the requirements given and the application which you are testing. So that gap is known as the defect. Okay, so you log that defect. Okay, and then you said you need to inform your like stakeholders, maybe the product owner or the required developer or development team. Okay, see, hey, I have come across this defect. Can you please look at it? Okay, so that defect maybe like he can accept that defect, fix it, and give you to retest. Sometimes what happens that can be deferred. That okay, that could be fixed in the next next sprint on some next cycle. Maybe if it maybe because it's not on a high priority defect, but sometimes it could be a very high priority defect and it needs a urgent fix. So he fixes the defect, and then again you need to retest, and you need to retest until that gap is fulfilled or that defect is fixed. So once the entire thing is fulfilled, entire the software is software cycle testing cycle is complete, then there comes a phase 6 which is called a test cycle closer. So here we need to like it's like a retrospective thing. So like we need to analyze whether like what went well or like what more improvements are needed. So like this is basically a retrospective cycle. Okay, so in manual testing is basically for two part, like functional and non-functional. So like in functional thing, we need to verify or we need to test the functionality of the software being developed or the application being developed. Okay, so the functionality which are like just I mentioned in this admission document. So these are the different functionality which we need to verify whether it is working as per the requirements given to us. And then comes the non-functional testing. So non-functional, okay, हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर जो हमने बनाया है वो चल रहा है, ठीक है, लेकिन आपका यूआरएल ओपन होने में 5 मिनट लग रहा है. सो दैट कैनॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड ना. और फॉर एग्जाम्पल कैसा है कि आप इनपुट कर रहे हो और आप सबमिट बटन दबा रहे हो और सबमिट बटन के बाद वो डेटा एक्सेप्ट होने में मतलब इट्स टेकिंग टाइम. Or for example, the same page is being used by millions of users, or like millions, or maybe let's suppose 10,000 of users, and that page is not getting loaded. So these are the various types of the non-functional testing, like load testing, stress testing. So these comes under the criteria of non-functional testing. And then comes this automation testing, the thing which is in very high demand in the market these days. Sorry. So automation testing is like here the testing is done by the use of certain tools or certain automation tools like UFT, Selenium, or maybe some this robot framework for automation. Like this testing is done by by some tool, like some automated tool. You don't need to you don't need to execute the test scripts or step by step by yourself. You just need to write test scripts for that, and then you just need to trigger a run. It is all the execution is being done automatically. That's automation testing. Yeah. So like sanity, regression, smoke, white box, black box, and boundary value analysis. So these could be certain types, certain criterias, or certain subsets of functional testing. So like first comes the sanity part. So what happens like every morning when you go into office and before starting your execution, you need to ensure the whether the application or the essential requirement, essential functionalities of the application are running fine. So for that, you need to first execute certain test cases or certain function. You need to check certain functionalities which are very vital for the execution. So those things, those like functionalities are being mentioned in certain test cases, which forms a sanity test. So sanity test ensures that the application is running or the essential functionalities are running, and then okay, we are good to go for the execution for the day. Then comes regression testing. Okay, so what happens that sometimes the developers give, okay, so the application or the software which we develop, it takes time. So like it is divided into certain phases, or like, so in the technical terms we call it as sprints, or like sprints. So like different phases are there. Okay, it is not developed one by altogether. It takes phases. Okay, so what happens that, okay, 2 3 phase the requirements are given, the product is being developed. But again, if a new build comes from the developer, we should ensure whether the existing functionalities are not hampered by the new function, by the new build which we have got. So regression tests ensures the whether the essential requirements which we had developed from the past, from the past period, that should not be hampered by the recent changes of the development side, or like the recent changes in the application. So this is being ensured by the regression testing. So smoke. So basically, this sanity and regression part basically comes into effect when the application is like, so more or less like it's stable. Then these things come into part. But smoke testing is basically the testing of the important functionalities when the application is like very in on a unstable part. Then the smoke testing comes into part. Then comes the white box testing. Okay, let's first say with black box. So in black box, what happens that like in black box, so you do not know like what is there inside the box. Okay, you know like there is a box. Why the box is meant for, but you don't know what is there inside the box. So same thing happens in this in our domain. So like you know the functionality, you know the requirement, you know the functionality which is to be tested, but you don't know anything about the code. So depending on the functionality, you test the application, you test the code based on the functionality. Yeah, this is the functionality which is to be covered by this code. So let's test the like let's test the scenarios. But in white box, you need to know about the code. Okay, so you need to have an understanding of the code which you are testing. So this forms the basic difference between white box and black box testing. Okay, so your the application which you are testing, so it should have if it needs a test data, the test data should be having some boundary. For example, for an application, it needs a value between 0 to 10. Okay, so you need to analyze whether the input which you are providing, it is accepting in this range only. For example, if it's accepting from 1 to 9. Okay, so you should check first at 1. Okay, it's working, and 9, it's working. If is it accepting before 1, is it accepting 0, or is it accepting like a 0.9? It should not accept because the range is from 1 to 9. So this is the boundary value analysis. Okay, then again at 9, it should accept at 9, but it should not accept at 9.1. So these are the things which we are analyzing, which we are like testing at the boundary. Okay, so this is called as the boundary value. So like for example, if there are various components in the application. Yeah, someone was speaking something.
Yeah, hi Navneet. Actually, I wanted to ask you something. Like, we talked about different aspects of the testing,
Your voice is
where we are
breaking.
testing with the different inputs that we provide in the form.
Hmm.
So, if suppose I was just considering one scenario, if there is, yeah,
Hmm.
hello, is my voice okay
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So, I
yeah, yeah.
was
Please.
just thinking of a scenario where suppose there is an option to upload a image, and while uploading that image, if I am tweaking that image with maybe you suppose I inserted some viruses, like something like that, like I have gone crazy and I have done something wrong with the image and then I upload it. So does that kind of testing is also done with the application, that the application is able to handle such kind of corrupt files?
Yeah, actually this should form a part of your testing. Yeah, actually, it's a very good point,
I'm
and
not
it
sure if I
yeah.
was.
No, no, you are right. You are right. Okay, so like the image which you are uploading. Okay, so like sometimes if you are if you are filling for some form in some कोई भी competition के लिए कोई form अगर भरे होगे तो उसमें कैसा होता है कि मतलब एक specific size होता है कि आपको इसी size का भरना है और उसके बाद वो कभी-कभी ये भी होता है कि आपका image clear है कि नहीं. So it should have certain code in the back end which should verify whether the image voice break हो रहा है. Hello, Abhishek,
Yeah,
am I
please
audible?
continue. Like, no,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
yes, yes,
I
audible. Yeah,
can.
please.
या सो लाइक उसमें हमारा एक कोड होता है जो कि वेरीफाई करता है कि द इमेज विच यू आर अपलोडिंग सो वेदर इट इज ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर साइज whether it is clear whether the person the face or the signature whatever is it visible clearly so this is to be verified by the code and if it is not it should give a prompt that okay hey guy hey boss this is not visible it is not clear please re-upload so this should be tested this is a part of the function testing like in the name besides here should be a photo here it is to be uploaded again if it's clear then okay, if it should give after uploading it should give like some prompt should be there some acknowledgement should be given to the user that it has been uploaded successfully if not it should be given a message that this is having certain problem whether it is having a size problem or it is not clear it should be given so this forms a part of the function testing nice point Abhishek thank you yeah so the tools of testing so like as I mentioned before like the input there should be some input data needed for the testing so the input data could be in the form of xml json or whatever so when you upload there could be multiple like again if I say here like there is a component which is having this component a B, C, D, E. Okay. So these are the five components in this application, and you need to publish your input data in this component A, and based on that, you should be getting some response in component E. Okay. So this input data at A, so it is having when you publish here, so it should be having first of all some unique ID should be there. ID should be there. Then again when you publish here it should be having some data which needs to be validated based on the data which is containing in this input it should be enriched from with some more data okay so when you publish here in this unique id so this input data which you are giving here at a it should generate some output data from a and that output data should act as input data for the component b. Similarly, this component B should generate some output data, which should be acting as an input data for component C. And accordingly, you are getting some output data at E. Okay. So this unique ID, which is there when you are uploading this data, so you can validate with this unique. You need to check whether this which you have, the data which you have published at component A, whether component A has persisted this data So you need to check using various tools. Like you need to check it using a SQL query. So there should be a SQL query validates whether this data has been persisted by component A. You need to verify it using some SQL. Also, there could be some UI some UI developed for this component A. So you just need to go on that UI, and you need to check whether this A has got whether this component is having this data based on this unique ID. You need to put this unique ID here, and you need to check whether it is there or not. So even that UI could be also displaying the various input parameters which you have passed as a data in this component A. Then again, you need to suppose, for example, this data has been persisted in if you check in the SQL or this UI, you are getting data. But suppose when you are checking at component E, it is saying that it does not have any data. So it means that there has been some issue which has been occurred in some components in the middle. So you can go you can check on the various components on the SQL queries or on the UIs whether it has whether the data has been persisted in all the components, and then accordingly you can check. See, if you go with the happy flow, so you the input data which you are giving at component A, so it's the expected data should be coming at or as the output of this component E. So this is the happy flow. Yeah. So these could be considered as a tools for testing. So sometimes like there could be various tools for testing like this SQL just mentioned. You can also call this there's called some Selenium IDE IDE. So which it is like a plugin which acts as a record and play. Like you can just whatever you need, the steps you need to automate, you just need to click and click there. So so you accordingly it records the your steps or and it replicates when you play when you play there. So it could be it is a testing tool. Again, UFT and this RPM. These all things are testing tools. This Jenkins. Yeah, one more thing is there, like one more thing which comes here again the tools for testing. I need to just add in here like test management tool. Okay. So test management tool, okay, there are various things like you are creating various test cases, test scenarios. You're logging in defects. So some defects may be fixed, some may be deferred, some could be declined. So there is a lot of data. Okay, so to keep track of your activities, you need to have certain like management tools. So here comes into picture this ALM or Jira. So like or this or the test trail. So these are the various like tools which keep track of your testing activities. So you can map. So you can write your different requirements there. You can map the requirements into various scenarios. The scenarios could be further mapped into test cases. If any of the test cases are having any defects, so those defects could be mapped to them, and accordingly those defects could be linked to the corresponding requirements. So there could be a very good like a tracking thing there. So that forms a part of the test management tools. Then comes the unit testing part. Yeah. So unit testing is basically so, there are like here if you see there are 5 components in this application, and these components are being worked upon by 5 developers. Okay. So each developer is writing his own code, and to test his own code, to verify using the unit tests. So unit tests are basically localized to certain components or localized to certain developers. So that forms a unit testing. So unit testing verifies whether a block of code for a component or maybe maybe the area of a component if it is working fine or not. So that validates with that's the basically a unit level of testing, which validates or verifies the unit part of the application which is being developed. Yeah, like I also mentioned one line here, like type of software testing, where individual units or components of software are tested. Okay, so like for example, like this component A is developed and component B is developed and C is developed. So like I mentioned, the data which is which is fed as an input data to component A, it is passing some output data which is acting as an input data for the component B, and further the same thing is happening with B and C. So you need to verify whether this group of components, component A, B, and C, are they working together in the form which is specified in the requirement document. So this verification, which we are doing for a group of components, that is called as a integration testing. Okay, so we integrate like some components and we need to verify their functionality as a group. The same thing I've mentioned here as a line, like where individual units or components are combined and tested as a group. Then comes the system testing. Okay, so all the components are developed and together they form a system. Okay, so you need to verify whether the system is working as expected or not. So like you need to pass on a data over here as from a component A, and it is giving some data at component E. Okay, so altogether, if you are testing the entire components, or altogether you are testing this is called as the whole system. If you are testing this whole system together, it forms testing of which is called as the system testing. So you need to verify, you're verifying like the end-to-end testing you're doing here, like you from component A to E all together. So this is called as a system testing. Yeah. Then comes something which is in high demand these days, and this is like the main thing of the testing industry these days. So like if you are going for any testing interview, you need to have the knowledge of this automation tools. So like automation testing is basically, as I mentioned before, like you need to write the test scripts for the various test scenarios, and you need to trigger the test cases, and the testing is being done automatically by any of the software tools. So like the different tools are there in the market. So like there is a tool called as it's mentioned here. So there could be tool. There's a tool called as a UFT. There's a tool called as Selenium. Okay, so these are the basically two tools which are in high demand these days in the market, and both of these. So like there are basically difference between those. UFT is basically a product which is owned by HP, and basically a licensed tool, and Selenium is a freeware. Okay, so if one is going with the UFT, so it has a high licensing cost. Okay, so this comes as a cons of it, but it has certain pros in UFT. Like UFT can test like web applications as well as desktop applications, but Selenium I just mentioned over here. UFT pros. Web as well as desktop applications. Selenium tests only web applications. Yeah, it can test like if you need to to test any like desktop applications using Selenium, we need to use any some other plugin or some other like other tool to you need to integrate something with Selenium, because Selenium by itself does not test a desktop applications. It tests only web applications. Like if you go to the Selenium it's official web ID Selenium hq.org. Yeah, the first thing which is here is Selenium automates browser. That's it. Okay. So this question could be asked in an interview, and like people ask these questions. Okay. So like does Selenium automates desktop applications or not? No. Selenium automates only browsers. It automates only web application. That's it. If you need to automate any desktop applications, you need to add any plugin or any other software with it. You need to integrate it because Selenium by itself does not automate any desktop applications. It automates only browsers. Okay. On this thing, let's remove this plus thing once. Huge licensing cost. Freeware. Code is written only in VB script. Code could be written multiple programming languages like Java, C Sharp, JavaScript, Ruby, Python. Works only with Internet Explorer. Here, the browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari. Yeah, so one more thing which is very beneficial, and if you're working in Selenium basically, but because here if you work in UFT, like it takes time because concept of multi-threading is not applicable in UFT. But here if you say in Selenium, so like if you code in like Java or Python, so like you can execute it in various threads, and the execution is faster if you work in Selenium. So yeah, it's you can write here like. Execution is slower or execution takes time. Faster execution. And those things comes in cons. Yeah. So these are the things which differentiate the CFT and Selenium. So also like these days, like scriptless automation thing has come into demand. Like if you see like automation anywhere or like UiPath, different robotic tools are there. But also these tools basically at backend use Selenium APIs. So Selenium is like the thing you need to know Selenium. So like if you are going into this testing, so you need to know any automation tool with Selenium or UFT. But if you go with Selenium, so like it's a good thing. Like it adds something to your CV. So like automation is something like which is must needed these days for other testing interviews. Yeah. So if you go yeah, yeah, advantages of this automation. If we look at the advantages, like if we are executing test scenarios manually, so again if we so like today we are executing it is taking time and a lot of manual effort. For example, 2 days after 2 days we need to re-execute those scenarios. Again, the same effort is needed. And again, if time and again if after how many times you are executing, the same effort is needed. But in automation, effort is needed only one time for the creation of the test scripts. After that, how many times you need to run? You need to just trigger run button. After that, execution is done automatically. It saves time. So like executing of manual execution takes a lot of time, and execution by test script it takes very less time. Like automation takes manual effort, Also, like there, if you're executing some bug manually, there could be some manual error, but machine execution is like free of this manual error, and it's like more accurate. This automation testing, this creates a ready-made report, sometimes some HTML report, sometimes like PDF report. Various types of reporting things are there which are generated automatically. But is automation feasible everywhere? No, automation cannot be feasible everywhere. There could be certain applications where automation is not feasible. For example, suppose there is an application which is in its initial stage of development. So in the initial stage of development, you could apply automation because the application because things are not stable. The page elements or the various tabs, they're different thing. They vary. Today the structure is something else, and after some time the structure is something else. So the thing is, if it is not finalized, you cannot apply automation there. So you need to use the manual effort there. Okay, so manual testing is like it can be applicable everywhere. Automation testing is applicable only where the application is all the more stable. At those applications only you can apply the feasibility of automation. If it's not stable, you cannot automate it. Yeah. So like that's all from my side for today. Thank you. So like any questions?
Hello, sir.
Well, yeah,
So like
first of all, like,
let me mute.
yeah, like, first of all, I would say that, like, this was a really, really awesome, presentation over software testing, and trust me, this has given me a lot of knowledge in depth that what software testing is, and I'm sure that others feel too. Great, great. Thanks a lot, Navleen. Thanks a lot, really.
Thanks to you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you all.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Absolutely. Trust me.
Yeah. So like it has like this PPT has my LinkedIn ID. So like if anyone has any query or anything, you can reach out to me anytime. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I'll share that ID with everyone in the group. And somebody was asking some question, I guess. Please, you can
Yeah.
continue.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Sir, my question is that when a new feature is added to an application, the
Uh-huh.
whole application is being tested again, or only that feature is being tested?
Yeah, nice question. So like that, first of all, when you get that feature, so you need to test the functionality of that feature. Okay. So after you are testing that functionality, after that you need to execute the regression suite. Okay. So you need to verify whether that feature is not hampering the existing features. Okay. Your first priority is the testing of that feature. Second priority is the regression testing. Is my answer okay with you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Okay.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है
हाँ बोलिए ना.
एक सर कुछ मैंने stability पढ़ा है
आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है. आप टाइप करिए ना, ये क्वेश्चन मेरा वो टाइप
Yeah,
करिए.
exactly. I was also about to go, going to say that, like, if your voice is breaking and your internet is not stable, you may also type your questions in chat, right? Nikhil, I'll suggest, yeah, that please you type the question.
Hello,
ड्यूरेबिलिटी
sir.
ऑफ एप्लीकेशन मींस कितना हैकिंग सेफ है. अगेन या ओके, सो दिस कम्स अंडर द पार्ट ऑफ सिक्योरिटी टेस्टिंग. So like there is team which tests for the security application, like usko like breach ho raha hai ki nahi. There are certain certificates like whether like you are the certain the various users which are able to use that application, they are issued certain IDs. Okay, so it is also tested whether the application could be accessed without those IDs. So it should not be accessed. Okay, the persons which are having the IDs, they should only be able to access the application. कोई अगर unauthorized उसको access करना चाहे तो access नहीं कर पाएगा. Like this forms the part of security testing.
Right. I think Dhananjay, you were also asking some question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what are the bugs in application?
Bugs. Okay. So like bugs or like defects are something like जैसे हमको एक रिक्वायरमेंट मिला कि जैसे मैं एक एग्जांपल के साथ समझाता हूँ आपको. मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही है ना आपको?
Yes, sir.
या ठीक है. जैसे हमारे पास एक फीचर है जैसे कि मतलब यहाँ पे ये हमारे पास एक साइट है जो एडमिशन है ना, एडमिशन xyz@abc.com. ठीक है, ये हमारे पास एक URL है और इस URL को अगर हम ब्राउजर में एंटर करेंगे तो हमको ये वाला UI मिलना चाहिए. ठीक है, अब हमको ये वाला UI तो मिला लेकिन इसमें एडमिशन टैब मिसिंग है. ठीक है, ये एडमिशन टैब इसमें है ही नहीं. So this is a gap between the requirement and the software product which is developed. ठीक है, तो इस गैप को हम बग बोलेंगे. Anything which is missing from the requirement in the software application, that is a bug.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah.
So can a bugs be completely free from application?
Yeah, of course they can be free for like अगर हम non functional अगर functional testing की बात करें तो they cannot be free from application. But if we go for the non functional testing, so there could be bugs like for example जैसे आपको ये वाला साइट है. ठीक है, अगर ये वाला साइट आपका ओपन हो रहा है लेकिन ओपन होने में 5 मिनट लग रहा है, so that could be called as a non functional bug.
Acha. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Do we have any more questions? Cool then. So let's wrap up this meeting right now, right? And
Yeah.
Navneet, like that was really our pleasure to have you over here and talk about testing. Like we have been waiting for like an industry expert for you from a very long time to come here and present your views and your experience with us. Thanks a lot for coming.
Yeah, same here, same here. Okay.
Cool guys. Let's wrap this meeting, right? And let's meet in the next one. Sure. Thanks, Navneet.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Navinal.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.